And back to our coverage of the security situation in the southwest region of Nigeria. We're now in Oyo State, where in the last 2 weeks, that state has witnessed a level of insecurity. And just yesterday, in the early hours of the morning, an activist, Sunday Igboho, his house was razed in Oyo State. And we're joined now by the special advisor on media to the Oyo State Governor, Jide Ajani. Good to have you join us, Jide Ajani. Some days ago, there was a meeting between MACBAN and the Southwest Governors Forum, and some resolutions were reached. Since that meeting, has the security situation in Oyo State changed?
The security situation in Oyo State has greatly improved compared to what we witnessed last week, Friday in Igangan. I'm sure you are aware that the Commissioner of Police, Ngozi Onodeko, and the special advisor to the governor on security, they both went there and they spoke with the town hall meetings with members of the community, where we were able to get much more useful information in terms of what has gone on there for a while. And just before we came on air, His Excellency the Governor of Oyo State just issued a tweet, and I can just give you a summary of what the tweet is all about, because it's also in response to what has happened. Some of the plans in the tweet have actually been work in progress, but now it's become very pertinent that the governor issued that tweet. Part of it is that there will be deployment of additional 200 members of the Oyo State Security and kidnapping hotspots in the Barapa area. There's also the need for continuous dialogue with members of that community, and that will be done through days of town hall meetings. There will be documentation of foreigners to be sure that those that will be documented will be ones that have the interest of Oyo State and are also committed to the peace of this state. Added to that, there will be prosecution of all arrested suspects regarding the criminal activity that has gone on there. Part of that strategy will also be the enforcement of the existing laws on anti-grazing in the state. His Excellency too has said that they will continue to enforce the need for people to maintain peace and stability in the state so that we all live well. There is also the ability by the State Executive Council to engage some sort of compensation for families of those who may have been lost to some of these attacks. The tweet can be found at Sheyi A. Makinde. That's his Twitter address, and we just issued the tweet now. It's more comprehensive there. What I've just given you now is a summary of what His Excellency has just sent out as part of the ongoing efforts pre the events of last week and moving forward for the state.
Allow me, boss, in here, because while you have read out what the governor, some of the things the governor is putting in place to ensure that some of these incidents we've seen in the past few days are mitigated, but just yesterday we saw the fire in Sunday Igboho's house. So where does this come in, and how does this hamper this, how the implication of this on the peace process?
Thank you for the question. If you notice and you saw the optics of the fire incident, the men of the Oyo State Fire Service were actually on ground immediately the distress call was sent out, and they were able to avert what would have been a more serious issue of arson. That they were able to put out the fire on time speaks to the fact that the government is very responsive and is intended on keeping the peace in the state. It's of top priority.
Putting out a fire and its implication are two different things, because Sunday Igboho did actually speak out about this whole headers farmers crisis. So when you put out the fire and ensuring that this doesn't lead to more tension in the state, those are two different things. So what are you doing to ensure that the peace in the state is maintained as a result of this event?
I agree with what you have just said, but because men of the Nigerian police force have already been on ground, and people had also thought of it in a proactive manner to ensure that that type of incident that happened there yesterday was not blown out of proportion, because if the men of the police had not been on ground immediately to respond, it would have been worse than what we are saying. So that speaks to being proactive. I agree with you when you said the fact that we are claiming that there is peace and that an issue of arson occurs is a point you have made, which is valid. However, let's also be cognizant of the fact that things are still a bit fluid, and you would expect that some people might, on their own, want to engage in some activities. But as I speak with you, the police are investigating, And the result of the investigation will come out and we'll be able to deal with that and the people who are involved once are picked up.
All right. Special advisor on media to the Oyo State Governor, Jide Ajani, thanks for talking to us.